All right, everybody, welcome back to Freedom Algo. It's good to be back. Hope everybody's having an amazing day. Gonna give it a second. It's been a little while since we did a stream. I was out all last week for vacation. I'm gonna give it a minute for everyone to join. I'm drawing this possible spike in channel situation, but I don't think it really is. So it was just a possibility. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna play out as a spike in channel, but I drew it here as a possibility. I'm going to wait for everyone to join, and we'll get into it. Hey, good to see you, Jacoby. Obi-Wan Jacoby. Feels good to be back. I forgot to draw a line here. Kind of a line here. You can see this high, triple test right there. Of course, I wasn't paying attention, but there's kind of a triple test right here. You could argue for it. It's just not, it's not ideal. Not ideal, I'd say. But it is there. You could kind of look at this like a new low. It's kind of a second entry short, sort of, but not really, because this is kind of an inside bar. But you could play this as a triple test here. You could. Again, it's not ideal. I didn't draw a short term here. Hold on. Sorry. I haven't mapped this all out, but you could draw a short term trend line there and see this as a closeout side and an equal high. Treat it like a new high. This was just a possibility anyway. This level didn't come into play, so let me just remove a few things. Get it all situated here. There we go. All right. Draw that. And this blue line was just previously these levels that I thought we might come back to. Yeah, the measured move for the range is all the way up there, which is wild. Hey, Sean. Good to have you, too. Good to be back. Mainly Trades. Good to see you. All right, so real quick, before we get into everything, let me just see. I need to help Sean with something here. So, Sean, you were saying that you're having... Your candles are looking different than mine. Okay, so Sean, let me know real quick, what data provider are you using? Because I'm looking at your chart, and it does look different than mine a little bit. But what data provider are you using, Sean? So, are you using NinjaTrader? Are you using NinjaTrader as your brokerage? And your data feed, are you using some sort of prop firm like Apex or something that uses Rhythmic? Let me know in the chat, Sean, and I'll help you diagnose the problem there. Peter, good to see you. Christian, good to see you. Good to see everybody. All right, so Sean, you're on NinjaTrader, but is that your actual data feed? Here, let me see if I can show you what I'm looking for. Let me go tools. Using the SIM account. Okay. So your market data though. What I'm asking about is your market data. Is NinjaTrader the only thing that's connected? Let me know. Like, is NinjaTrader the only thing connected? And what I'm going to do real quick is reload my data and make sure it's not a problem on my side. So I'm going to reload all historical data real quick. So you're going to see it say loading up here. So give it a second and we'll see. Good to see you, Matt. Good to see you. See, my candles didn't change there. So I just reloaded my data and they didn't change. So something's funky there. Yeah, exactly, Peter. So if you're using Rhythmic, it's going to be different. Okay, so Sean, I'm not sure why you'd be having a difference then. That seems odd. The only thing I could think of is this. Here, let me pause my screen for a second. Because I got to look at something and I can show you one possibility. Okay, I actually don't have to pause my screen for this. I thought I did because I thought it might share personal stuff, but it doesn't. So when you look at your data settings, I have mine set up like this. Days, 10 days to load. Trading hours, just use instrument settings. And then I have break at end of day checked. make sure that that's how your chart is set up. So, because maybe if you don't have break at end of day check, it can change the way that your chart looks. So check that out, because that would be the only thing I could think of. So let me know, Sean, because I'm not sure. And then if that's checked and you reloaded and you're still having issues, try clearing your NinjaTrader cache. There's instructions for that. Just Google clear NinjaTrader cache, and you'll find a help article that tells you how to do it. And that might be the last thing. And then if it still isn't lining up, let me know and we'll work it out. And you can make a post about it in school, and we'll go, okay, cool, that fixed it. Yeah, good. So sometimes that's just a weird little setting. I don't know why, because I think sometimes it's on by default and sometimes it isn't. It seems to be an odd little thing, but I'm glad that it fixed it. And you had 30 days to load. Okay, yeah, so it could have been something like that. I just have mine on 10 because I just think that, like, sometimes it messes with me. Plus, I'm testing out the indicator. You can see if you go over here, the second entry version of the indicator is on a different chart that I'm testing. To track new highs, new lows, and different types of entries and whatnot. So I'm still testing this. Not ready yet for public release, but I don't want to load too many days of data because it will cause me to have some problems. All right, anyway, let's zoom out, take a look at the day, and get into it. Let me know, everybody, how was your weekend? How was last week? I feel like I missed a lot. I missed a new all-time high, it looks like. I didn't trade at all last week while I was on vacation. I went swimming in the ocean every day, and it was amazing. All right. If you're here, please smash up that like button. We only got 4 likes. That's abysmal. It looks like there's 18 people on right now. We got 4 likes. That is just, like, I feel like I'm getting slapped here. So everybody, please hit that like button. Let's get more likes cruising. Let's get more subscribers. And we'll go from there. All right, so this morning when I came in, we had this kind of spike here. It got a close outside new high all at once. And I drew a range off of the highs and lows, but we never even got below this midline. Pretty much right there is the only time we even tried to. And we only came back and tested it. We didn't even test it here. We got close to it. But you can see, like, basically the range was just here throughout this whole morning. So there wasn't really a consistent low. You can see here, like, if I draw lines from any of the lows, they're just not very consistent. So it wasn't really easy to take longs because you were basically longing in no man's land, and there wasn't any setups. There's only one actual good setup that I see today, and it's the trade that I took, which is right here. This is the only trade I took today. Hey, Jackie, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. So basically, this is what I did. I drew my highs. Originally, I had them off at this close. Later, I moved them to this area here because it just looked like it fit. It doesn't really matter though. Like, here, let me drag it back down. Get back. I'll drag it back down. So I had it off of here, and you can see 1, 2 triple tests there. Now I wasn't trading at this point of the morning. That's 3:45 in the morning my time. Now there is a nice little triple test there, and then a lower high. So if you were trading at this time, which would be 4:46 a.m., you could take this short. And it's pretty nice because you got new high already, second test, triple test, makes a fully makes a new high, gives you a lower high. So if you were trading, I'm just going to mark it as a yellow here. If you were trading, you could take this trade here, and you would take this as a triple test and lower high. Pretty nice little setup. And you got some room to the EMA there. I don't know how much room you got, but we can check. Not a ton, but I don't think you have to worry too much about that. I think it's a pretty decent setup, but I'll mark it yellow just because. I would mark it red if it closed a little bit higher up here and gave you a little bit of a better entry, but it didn't. So, you know, it's there. So I'll mark it, even though I don't trade that early. If you were here, that would have been a setup. All right, so then comes down. It gives you a first entry, second entry short. I actually had an order sitting like this. So I was ready to go short here because the way I looked at this was we needed a new low on this downtrend. we had this uptrend, we had a close outside, and this was a new high, and it was a second entry short. So I actually had an order sitting right here. Basically, I was waiting to go short right there, and I had my order sitting, but this bar never broke lower. It opened right here, and it kind of pushed higher. Once it pushed above this high, I canceled the order, because at that point, I'm not going to take an engulfing bar trade even if it goes up and down. You got to wait, because the swing high of it is going to be my second entry short area. So I needed to wait now at that point. So I canceled my order. Now, of course, it would have worked if you would have kept your order there, but you can't take a trade like that. That's not best practice. It's not an actual good signal bar, because this becomes your signal bar for the second entry short, and that's a bullish bar. So I couldn't take it. Then I thought, hey, maybe we get a lower high here and I'll take that. And then it doesn't finish right. You can see this bar. It's an 11 tick bar, but it closed pretty much right near its middle. So it was a neutral bar. It wasn't bearish enough. If this was a little bit more bearish, I would have went short here on the lower high, and I would have treated it like a first entry, second entry short, lower high after second entry short, and lower high after a failed breakout. That's how I would have treated that, but we didn't get it. So I wanted to just make sure I talk about that area, because it's one of those areas where we almost got two good setups, but we didn't get setups. So you have to skip them. That's just the way that you got to follow the rules. We then get a second entry long here, and I thought that this might be a nice little trap. I actually considered taking a short here, and it would have worked. It would have worked to go short below this as a failure. So a new high, first entry, second entry long, failure below the EMA. But you don't want to go short right here in the middle of this range. It's just not a good area. You can kind of see that there. It's not a good place to go short. So I skipped that one and just think that it's best off to skip it. It's also not a very good signal bar. It's an 8 tick bar, so it's one of those ones that closes on the cusp. It's not really the lower 1/3. But I considered this. I just didn't think it was worth it. Just a little trap, thinking it's going to go to the lows. But again, you failed to make it to the lows, and there's just not much consistency there. So then it comes up, you get a first entry, second entry short, but this is your signal bar, and this is just an inside bar. Now, I know some people from the paid community, I know someone took this trade, and that's cool, but it's not a good setup, because it is a second entry short, but this is your signal bar, this big green bar, and you don't want to short a bar like that. It also closes above. Both of these close above that original range, so it could go higher here. So you really need like a lower high here back inside the range to want to take this, because this is your signal bar. So what you really need here is just to like break a little lower, come up, and give you a nice lower high, and then you could take it. But it didn't happen. Then it came down. Now we made a new low here, so this downtrend had played out. This one might get a new low as well, but it is the correction channel, so we might not. But when we come up here and we get a close outside and a first entry short, and then we get a second entry short right off that original range high, I think that's a good one. I took that trade. I didn't get a runner here because it came down, it filled my order, and then this one came back and stopped out my runner because I had to move. It didn't tick through and move my stop, but I moved it because I got filled on the limit order here. So I wanted to move my stop to break even, and it came back and stopped me on this candle over here. So unfortunately, I didn't get a runner on this one. If I would have just been patient and let it break below without moving my stop, it would have been fine. But I was concerned when it started to come back here that it might come up and make one more attempt higher. So I just wanted to get out with my runner. And but I got a nice scalp there. So it was a good trade. Could have been a lot better though with the runner there. So hopefully whoever took that trade, hopefully some of you got a runner there because I didn't get a runner. That was my only trade today. One and done. Anyway, after that, we come up. We get this kind of close outside. Now this is a debatable one. Is this really a close outside? Or, you know, or is this one of those ones where the trend is actually like this, you know? It doesn't really matter that much because either way, you get a close outside and an equal high. So it's played out. And then you get one more leg up. So that was tempting to go short there, to treat it like two legs to a new high back inside the range. But when it closed at the highs here, I didn't like it. So I wanted a lower high and we didn't get it. So again, you just have to watch it go. You kind of get this sort of close outside, but it's in no man's land again. There's just no level down here that's that consistent. And then it comes up, it makes a higher low, but no good signal bar. Nothing, no second entry short here because the signal bar is bullish. You get a lower high. I went back and forth on whether to mark this. It moved really far. You see, you get a second entry short and then this lower high, but it goes all the way down here. And at this point, I just think you're too close to the lows to take a short there. If you do draw a line across, like, you know, kind of like this realm here, you don't have a lot of room to go short there, so I don't think you can really take it. You just got to skip it, let it roll. So it comes down, it makes this low. Now you kind of bounce off this area right here. So at this point we go higher. We don't get a good higher low though. We kind of get this equal. This is kind of a higher low because it makes an equal low, but this is pretty sideways right here. None of these broke higher, so I think it's looking a little too congested to treat this like a higher low. Then you get the actual higher low here, but it's a neutral bar, and then it goes higher. You could argue that this is a failure. It's a first entry. You could kind of treat this all like a second entry short failure. Technically, the second entry short is here, and it fails. But you could treat this like a failure, but you can't take that. It broke back inside the range. So you're just reaching at that point if you try to take a trade there. You just got to let it roll. Now, it does go higher. You get this kind of close outside, and then it makes another new high. Now, I was thinking we might be getting a channel here. Kind of looks like close outside and a couple legs up, and then a reversal. There's a lower high here after the 2 legs up. Could you go short here? You could, but you are definitely taking a risk there. Like, we haven't been back to the 21 EMA yet. You're shorting right into it. We might have a spike in channel. I don't think that it's worth the risk there to treat that like it's 2 legs to a new high failed breakout. I don't think you want to do that. I just think it's too risky. Then you get a second entry long here that does close outside and give you a new low. I went back and forth on that one as well. I don't think it's a safe trade. It's not back off of any of the levels. So again, you just have to skip it. And then you get this one here where you get sort of this triple test that I marked earlier. It's a close outside at equal high, triple test of that exact level right there. So I think you can take this one. It's not the best setup, but it's decent. It's a really bearish bar. It's only 9 ticks. It's not that big of a risk. Decent little setup, and then it runs down. This would have given you probably... actually, I don't think you'd get a runner. This one would have stopped out your runner right here, this inside bar. But you would have a nice scalp there. And let me fix this trend line. I would look at this like, sort of like this. Basically, close outside, new low. So this is played out now. Now, actually, the wild thing here is that this is a double top. So this is actually a this is actually a second entry long right here. This bar right here. That's a pretty risky one to take. I mean, you're pretty much picking a bottom and you just broke back into this area. That's risky to take along there. It's a 12-tick bar. It's kind of high risk for how low the ATR is. So I think that's a pretty risky setup to go long there. Even though it is, you know, downtrend played out, I don't think it's worth the risk. So I'd look at this like this. New trend working higher. And I was originally... by the way, I forgot to talk about the measured move. I did draw this measured move from this low to this high and then off of this low just to see. That is a possible target area, but it didn't happen. We could still come up there. And then this is the measured move of the range that we could maybe come up to. Like all the way over here. But... this was just a previous area that I thought might come into play from those highs, but I don't really think it's in play as a key level. So I think it looks more like that. This was just a failure to break back into the range. And that's what we got so far. So really slow day in terms of setups. Like, the price action's moving, but just not a lot of setups. So if you're here, hit that like button. Let me know if you have any questions. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And real quick, since it's been a while, I will mention this. If you open up the link tree, I meant to have the link tree. If you open up the link tree, you'll see some stuff in here. Free trading Discord, YouTube. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube. I've been getting asked a lot about like the old free community. I shut the free community down several months ago because I moved everything to YouTube. So I wanted to talk about this real quick. If you go to my videos section and you scroll down, you'll see the free course right here. It's like 4 hours long. You'll see the NinjaTrader setup guide, like 23-minute long. You'll see all these other videos about different things. So I moved everything to YouTube, so we don't need a free community anymore. So the only community I'm running is this one, which is the paid community. This is just $99 a month. Everything is laid out of what's going on here. The Freedom Algo NinjaTrader Toolkit and indicators are coming soon. I gave a sneak peek of those recently on one of the calls. I showed all the settings. You can actually see those on my chart. That's what all these little numbers are. They're related to the new toolkit. That's why I have all these ATRs and take profit targets and all that stuff. Some of the different drawing tools and arrows and some of the different like labels and everything. That's all in here. And then of course there's the leg tracker, tracks legs of correction. And that's what this is here on this chart over here. This is not quite ready for public release, so it's still working out the bugs. But it's getting there. It's getting there. And that's going to be all available as just part of everything that you get. So when you join this, you're going to have access to this. It's just not quite ready yet. But everyone that's a member will have access to those pretty soon. I'm still working on getting that all situated. But everything is in here. Classroom, you can see all this. The price action full course is all in here. The community where we post everything. You can see this here where I'm posting my chart updates throughout the session, answering questions. You can see people sharing wins. Shout out to you, Adam, for having some sick wins this last week while I was out. That's awesome. And then, of course, the calendar of events is in here. You can see last week I was on vacation, so that was all labeled in there. But we have all the calendar of events. I will be adjusting the schedule very slightly for the YouTube live streams because it's the school year. So on Thursdays and Fridays, I gotta probably start the stream a little later. It won't be anything too crazy. It'll just be starting the stream probably around like 9 or so. It'll just be 30 minutes later on those 2 days, something like that. So nothing that big, but just a very slight adjustment. I'll adjust that soon as I get ready for that. But that's all in there. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Oh yeah, Sean, for sure, for sure. Oh, Dean, I appreciate that. I'm glad you like the NinjaTrader tutorial. Glad that it's helpful for you. And Sean, yeah, the tools are going to be ready soon. They're close. Most of it is done. The only thing that I'm still working on, well, it's two things. The tracking of the legs, the legs of correction. There's a couple of issues with that, and there's a few bugs that I'm trying to work on. So I got to get those resolved. And it's not going to be perfect, of course, because, inside bars and all this other stuff can be annoying. But I'm just going to let it track because I want to be able to show it. So that's getting built or resolved still. And then I have to finish a final step in making the code available because I had to become a NinjaTrader software partner to do it so that it can be done properly. And that is still in process. So I should be finishing that part of things this week, hopefully. And then the hope is to get it out this month and have it be launched this month. But, there's some contingencies that I got to deal with from developers and NinjaTrader themselves and whatnot. But let me know how things are going for everybody. How is your Monday? How's everybody doing? It's been a while. It's been a little while. Yeah, for sure, Sean. For sure. It takes time to develop it. And I will tell you that no matter how you do a leg counter, there's multiple second entries and leg counters out there that you can use. They all have some problems because there's nuance to it as well. So it'll help, but it's definitely not perfect. And it's not going to be. Like any of the tools that I've tested are not. And I've tried a few. So, but the one that I have, I think, is the best. At least in my opinion. It's not the most, comprehensive, right? There's some tools, there's one tool that I found that someone built that, uses different counting methods and allows you to do all this built-in back testing and all this other stuff. There's no reason for that in our tool. So I'm keeping it simple. Jacob, you asked, how do I decipher between if the entries are going to be long or short? I don't know that I recognize your name, so maybe you're new to my style. I'm a price action trader, so it's all based on the rules of following the price action. So I follow short-term trend line rules, long-term trend line rules. I follow the rules of if we're in a range versus a trend. There's a lot of factors and variables that go into it. So it's a hard one for me to exactly answer because it's based on the context of the chart and the day and the current price action. But I teach all that in my course. And I teach it in some of my free videos, like as well on YouTube and everything. So yeah, sorry, I can't give you like an easy answer to that because it's a very complicated question just because there's so much involved with understanding the price action. Nice, Matt. That's good to hear that you're doing well. Good, Sean. Good, good, good. That's awesome. Yeah, one thing also, like right before I went on my trip, my dog was all messed up. Turns out, I didn't give everyone an update on this, but I literally had to take him to the vet last week on what day was it? Sunday. I had to take him to the vet on Sunday, and then I had to fly on Monday for my trip. And so he was, turns out he must have eaten something weird, and they said he either had like salmonella or E. coli or something. And his stomach was all inflamed and he was all messed up. But we got it resolved, got him a bunch of antibiotics and probiotics, so my dog is all good. Thanks everyone who checked in on what was going on. For those of you who don't know, I have a really big dog. He's half lab, half German Shepherd. He's 12, and I was really worried about him, but he's actually totally good now. And so that's pretty cool. Yes, yeah, Sean, the trend lines are really annoying sometimes, so here's how you resolve it. When you draw a trend, like let's say you're drawing a trend right here, just make it really long, like this. Make it really long, and it won't move. And then once the trend is played out, you can then shrink it to make it not annoying. But if you make your trend too short, it'll start moving on you. Like let's say I draw a trend like this, right? I'll just do it to show you. If I draw a trend like this, and it's like short like this, I'll leave it like that, and you'll see it'll start moving on me. After this candle closes, it'll probably start moving on me. It's because I didn't make the trend long enough. If you make it longer, it'll fix it. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that, Matt. Appreciate that. My office is a little bit of a mess right now. I got to get it resolved. I brought one of my hand pans with me when I went on my trip. So everything's disheveled in here right now. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Jackie. It takes time. You know, it takes time. You know, it's possible, Sean. It is possible that he did something weird like that. You know, I can tell you, I always say that my dog is part black bear because he looks like a black bear and he acts like one. He will do what black bears do. Like if there's trash out, like right, like if there's like trash available, he'll go into it and he'll start digging through and he'll eat stuff he's not supposed to. He's not he's half lab, and labs have a if anyone has ever had a lab, you'll understand this. Labs don't have any self-control over their food. So like it's known that Labradors will, if like they get into a bag of food, they'll eat the whole thing until they're super sick, possibly even dying from it. Like they've been known to do that. Like people will have an entire bag of dog food and then the lab will eat the entire bag if they get into it. Well, my dog will do that. If he gets into the woods and he finds a bunch of trash that the black bear got into and dragged into the woods, he'll start eating stuff in there. Just straight up. Stuff that's not even edible. He'll eat napkins, like he'll just do that. And so it's very possible that he just got into some rotten food that was in the woods because the black bear did it. So that's what I think happened. I think that the black bear did it. Now it's, oh, did you see my trend line just moved? So my trend line's moving now. And it's because I didn't make it long enough. I was just trying to do that as a demonstration. And so it's trying to move on me. And even if I just drag it a little bit, you'll see it'll keep moving around because I didn't make the trend line long enough. So just letting you know. Yep, I've had my dog do stuff like that too. And so it's also possible, I did feed him a little bit of raw beef, but he's eaten raw beef so many times. I mean, there was a period of time where he ate it for like a year straight. And so the vet was saying that it's possible that the raw beef I gave him could have had salmonella or E. coli. I think that's unlikely, but it does line up with the timing that I did give him a little bit of raw beef recently, and he did get... But I think the most likely culprit is that he got out in the woods and he either ate a poisonous mushroom, because it's mushroom season here, a lot of mushrooms are starting to grow, or he ate something rotten that he found. I think that's pretty likely too. You never know with that guy, but he's fine now, so we're all good. Wish I could say it's the last time he'll do it, but I can't because he's done it before. All right, anyway, I was just trying to show this trend line as a way to kind of symbolize what happens, but it is, so like the way I like to do it is more like this. Like I like to make it a little, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, let me delete that. I wish there was an undo button on NinjaTrader to undo the last thing that you did with a drawing tool, but there isn't. So I end up just deleting my channel and redrawing it. Something like that. So I draw it long. That'll fix it. Anyway, if you're here, please smash that like button. We got 21 likes right now. We're going to go for 40 today. Keep it chill. Let's go for 40 for our stream goal. Subscriber target, 5730. If we get 5 more subscribers. Sorry, I didn't mean to burp into the mic. I'm sorry about that. And as you guys know, my snake is right next to me. That's what you see here. I'm trying to point to it. That way. He's in there. She's asleep. She seems good. So, she's up. She's asleep. She did wake up this morning when I came in here because I woke up super early this morning. It was still dark out. Just because I was on East Coast time. And then I came in here. She was poking her head out, so she looks like she's pretty stoked. She's probably ready to eat what it is. Probably have to feed her later tonight or something. Alright, so we do have a second entry long there that fails. You don't want to take that. You see when you have a downtrend in play like that, you don't want to take that. You see that failure? First entry, second entry, boom, failure. You can probably, it's probably tracked over here. See, you can see it tracked on my indicator. Yeah, all right. Oh, if you draw a regression channel? Let me look. I'll draw one. Oh, geez, hold on. The regression channels are kind of weird, so give me a second to see. I'll draw one. All right, so if I draw a ninja, I just drew one. I don't know, it works for me. I was able to draw one and delete it right there. See that regression channel? I don't know, it worked for me. And then delete. I don't use regression channels anymore, but it does still seem like it works fine, at least when I just tested it. Give me 1 second, I gotta check something. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. Got some messages. Got to make sure it's not the school. All right. Taking a look at my All right, who wants to see? All right, let's do a quick check here. You had to delete all your drawings. Huh. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know, Jackie. I'm not sure. Not sure. All right, let's do a quick poll. I'm going to do a quick poll. I got a funny poll here. All right, we're going to do a poll here. This is the most non-trading poll ever. Do you want to see a photo booth picture from the wedding I went to? This is just for fun. This is just for fun. Just for fun, we'll do a poll on this. If anybody wants to see it, I'll share a funny photo booth picture. I have a photo booth picture here that I just pulled out that is pretty good from the wedding. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Jacob, do I have any specific videos that can help point you to helping identify first and second entries? Yes, I actually have a lot of them. Let me show you. Let me show you. So, I have a lot of these. So, first things first, you can watch, I would say watch the full course if you haven't. It's really important to do that. Definitely watch that. This one here, you'll never look at candlesticks the same way after this. This video is pretty good at helping show second entries. Some of these other ones, I think this one, this trend following one, shows second entries really well. This just works. This one is showing second entries really well down here. This one that says price action guide, mastering the two-legged pullback. Second entries are two-legged pullbacks. It's the same thing. So it shows you that one. Some of the recent ones I did. I think this one, the 5-step strategy one, that one helps. I have a bunch of them on here. Now, of course, if you want to learn it the real way, like the right way, you're going to want to go through the actual course. Like, it's way more involved in there. Like, if you go into the actual course, the price action course in here, I have entire sections on it that are way, way more comprehensive. Like, even down here, I have, like, second entries, hidden second entries, first entries. There's, like, full-on... I even did some master classes where I went over it, and they're, like, very comprehensive. I can't open them because there's proprietary links in there that would reveal stuff that is only available to the members. But there's so much in there. Jackie, I appreciate that. All right. Stay in draw mode. Peter, oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. So that's interesting. All right, let's see. All right, so we got 10 votes. We got 10 votes. 9 of you said yes. 1 of you said no. I don't know why you don't want to see this, but hey, the person who said no, still appreciate you being here. All right, so everybody here, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to show you a pretty funny picture from the wedding. This is a photo booth picture. I swear I look like Macho Man Randy Savage in it. All right, let me show you here. Hold on, let me try to get this to... It's a little bright. Hold on, I'm trying to get it to focus. Your boy looking like Macho Man Randy Savage. Classic. All right. Sorry if that was a little bit hard to focus. It's just the way that it is because it's bright. Snap into a Slim Jim. Classic. Good, Sean. That's really good feedback, and I'm glad that it has helped you that much, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. But yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be back. Dean Lou. KY. Nice. I'm assuming that means Kentucky. That's awesome. Kentucky is one of the few states I haven't been to. I've been to, I think I've been to 40 states, maybe 41, something like that. The only states I'm missing off the top of my head are Alaska. I haven't been to Alaska. I have not been to Kentucky. I haven't been to Kansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee. What else? Trying to think of what other ones I haven't been to. South Dakota, which is crazy because I've been within like a few miles of the South Dakota border, but I didn't go. I've been to North Dakota several times. I haven't been to South Dakota. That's like 6 states. Honestly, I can't think of any other ones I haven't been to. Oh, I haven't been to Arkansas. 7. Missouri. 8. So I haven't been to 8 states. That's it. I think that's all of them. I'm pretty sure that's all the states I haven't been to. But I've been to all the rest of them. Dude, I have and it's annoying too because I have a friend who lives in Kentucky, like a good friend of mine, and it just hasn't worked out yet. But I know I'll get there at some point. I really want to see Kentucky. It looks like a beautiful place. Yeah, so Jacob, there's a lot of nuance to it, and the thing about the course is that I do a call once a week with all the paid members, and sometimes it's just Q&A. It's on Zoom, and we record it. Sometimes I do a full masterclass. I've done masterclasses on price action, ranges, trends, like all kinds of different stuff. There's definitely one in there on second entries and all the nuance of second entries. I did like a full segment on it. So there's a lot more than just the course. The actual calls are really helpful for me going over it step by step. And that's all recorded in there for you. So there's a lot of hours of content in there. Okay. MJ, need to make sure I understand your question. So you're saying why? Please rephrase your question. I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking something about a second leg, but I don't understand the question. So please rephrase it, and then I'm happy to answer it. I just don't really understand what you're asking me. So we are trending down now. We'll see. That failure was there. We've come back into the range, so that might be all we get for the highs. And now we just got to see, like, what is this range day going to do? Are we going to come back down towards these lows? Maybe towards the midline? Could we come back and fill this gap? I mean, this is where we closed on last week. So you're thinking that we were going to come down to it. We still haven't done it. So we'll see. We'll see. Zoom back in real quick. Right quick. All right. Sorry about the loud keyboard. I had a quick question that I had to answer. I gotta say this, like, this is no offense to anybody, but a lot of people try to join the free Discord, and like, I don't know how they miss this. Because I say it right in the thing. When you join my free Discord, you get put into a rules channel, right? Let me show you. Look, I don't know how to be more explicit than this. I want to show you this. When you join my free Discord, you get this thing right here. You get an automatic message that says, in all capital letters, you have to accept the rules below by clicking the thumbs up emoji for full server access. I don't know how to be more apparent here. And people just don't do it. And then they end up joining and not having access. Now, real quick, when you're a paid member to the school community, you get access to this, which is where we go through everything. Every single day, we have a full-on discussion happening in here where I post the chart updates, people post their charts, we talk about things. This is happening throughout the trading session before we're live every day. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows about that. Like, part of what you get when you do join the school community is access to that paid section of Discord. Anyway, just wanted to real quick bring that up. But yeah, people keep joining the server and not realizing that, like, you have to accept the rules. And the reason I have that is because I kept getting spammers who would join and just, like, start spamming immediately, and I think they were bots. So I enabled that as a way to just filter out bots. But it's crazy how many people join who are real people, and they just, like, don't do what it says right there. Anyway. Okay. You came in here and heard me mention second leg entry or something. Okay, so MJ, I trade with price action, and one of the strategies I trade with is trading what's called second entries. So, like, if you go look at this trade here, this is a second entry short. It's a move up. It's a first attempt lower, second attempt lower, and it's because the market moves in twos. So I'm trading the second attempt lower, not the first attempt. So it's just the way the market moves. A lot of the nuance I teach in the course and everything and all that. I don't want to be a broken record about that. All right, so if you got questions, drop them in the chat. We want 40 likes today. We've got 23. We're slacking. So hit that like button if you're here. We want 30 subscribers. So 3 more subscribers to hit our stream goal today. Let's get it. Let's get it. I got to fix something real quick. Okay, I see a question from you, Sean. You were wondering about a down channel. Sean just posted this in the paid community, so I'm just going to pull it up. So, Sean, it looks like you drew a down channel kind of like this. I would draw it from this high because this is a double top, so I draw it from this high. You could draw this, right? Something like this. You could draw it. The problem is, I'll show you the problem. So the midline fits fine. The problem is you need 3 swings. So we have 1, 2. We don't have a third swing to confirm the downtrend here. So that would be the challenge. Yeah, that would be the challenge. Making sure that I'm answering this on the stream in case anyone comes back later and sees that question. But basically, the challenge is, yes, you could draw it as a possibility. It's just not the most reliable channel because you have all this dead space here, dead space here, dead space here. Like, it's just not fitting the price action perfect. So what I would do is say, we can be aware of this, but we can't really confirm that this channel's in play unless we get a third swing on here. So for now, I wouldn't say that that's like definitely in play or anything. But we can have it. I was looking at the same thing before. The other thing to consider is like this could just be two big legs. You know, we could find a bottom and reverse. We'll see. But we'll watch it out. We'll watch it. We'll watch it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh. Sorry, I had to get a little stretching. I'm a little tired, everybody. I got in pretty late last night. I went to sleep like after 11 p.m. because I didn't get home till like 11 p.m. And then I woke up at like 4 a.m. So I tried to go back to sleep. I eventually got up at like 4:45. I couldn't go back to sleep. And it's because I'm kind of on East Coast time. So it felt like, you know, on the East Coast, I was still waking up at like between like 5:30 and like 6:15 or so. So I just am still on that East Coast time a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I woke up super early, and so I'm a little tired. That's just what it is. Try to have a chill day after this. But yeah, I was in New Jersey, for those of you who didn't know. I was in New Jersey last week on the beach, having a nice little trip, going to a wedding. Super fun. I brought my handpan, played a bunch of music. Oh, yeah, you're in PA. I was in New Jersey, right on the beach. Like, kind of like middle of the state on the beach. It was a lot of fun. That's where I'm from originally. I grew up there. I lived there till I was 19, and then I moved to the West Coast, to Oregon. So it was good. It was crazy to hang out with people I hadn't seen in so long. Like one of my friends that was at the wedding, we literally were in the same kindergarten class. It was kind of amazing. And I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen in like straight up like 15 years or more. It was awesome. Oh, that's cool, Sean. That's cool. Oh, nice, Jacoby. Which part of NJ? Which part of NJ? Curious. I was near Asbury Park, New Jersey, for those of you. That's like I'm from like the town right next to that. Hassan, good to see you. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Oh, that's cool, Jacoby. I like North Carolina a lot. It's a lot of fun down there. Cool place. Really cool place. I spent some time down there. What's the area that I was in last time I was there? Let me pull it up on a map. Let me see. I'll pull it up on a map real quick. I was in North Carolina. I mean, this is quite a few years ago, but let me look it up real quick. Tell you what the area was called where I was hanging out. I wasn't in like one of the major cities. I was hanging out in, where was it? It's not the Outer Banks or anything. Where? Let me see. I'm pulling it up on my other screen real quick. I was in... Well, I mean, I did stay in... I did actually stay in Fayetteville. So I actually did stay in Fayetteville, and I actually liked it a lot. There was a bunch of people were telling me that like it's corny there, but I actually had a great time in Fayetteville. People were super friendly. I had a great experience there. Met some cool like military people there, and just had a great time in Fayetteville. And then what's the other area I was in? Man, I can't find it now. It was a long time ago, so I'm having a hard time. I know Fayetteville was one of them. I did go through Raleigh. I didn't like hang out in the city a bunch, but I did stay near Raleigh, and I did go there. And I had a great time in Raleigh, actually. I had a great time there. Super fun. Yeah, anyway. Little digression. Why not? Oh, Hazlitt. Yeah, I know Hazlitt. I used to play against them in soccer back in the day. Yeah, Sandy Hook. Dude, I used to live next to Sandy Hook. I actually lived for a year in the Highlands, which is the town where Sandy Hook is. So I know that whole area. Oh, nice. Fresh, you're in Bergen County, and your family in Ocean. Nice. So that's right next to where I grew up, because I went to I grew up near Neptune, Asbury Park area. So I know that area a lot. Yeah, Jacoby, I think that you're probably, yeah, that's what I heard too. When I was there, I didn't have any experience with that, but who knows. Nice, Sean. Yeah, Egg Harbor, that's like Southwest Jersey. That's like out near Philly. Nice, Jacoby. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Jackie, for sure. That's what I experienced there. It was pretty cool when I was down there. I had a good time. I was down there during Halloween, so we went trick-or-treating and all that with the kids. It was fun. That was back when I was RVing. I spent a couple of years RVing around the country. That's why I've been to so many states. Nice, Jacoby. That's cool. It's funny. There used to be a coffee shop called the Inkwell in New Jersey, that I used to go to in Long Branch. It was in Long Branch, New Jersey, I think. But I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, I had a good time. I played my handpan a bunch. I played on the boardwalk a bunch. I will tell you, people there didn't like it as much. Oh, yeah, my bad. I should have been charting this. Yeah, Peter, for sure. There is a trade there. My bad. I should have been charting it. There is a trade there. I think you have to mark this one as a yellow. I think you got to mark this one as a yellow. And the reason I say that is because it's not quite off that trend line. So you don't know for sure that this is going to keep going lower. And the other reason it's a little bit dicey is that, like, you kind of have this little micro. It's hard to tell if that's really going to be a close outside or not. So I think you got to be careful with that one. Oh, nice, Jacoby. Yeah, I used to go there back in, like, high school days. Yeah, way back in the day. That's funny. That is so funny. What a small world, man. What a small world sometimes. I love it. So we're trying to get 40 likes. We got 29. Everybody hit that like button. We need 2 more subscribers to hit our goal. Let's get it. Okay, yeah, so for sure. Let me tell you what I do, Fresh. And welcome. Welcome. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's a good setup, Peter. It's just not perfect. So the way I do it is like this. And you'll see this in the description, Fresh. I talk about this in the description. Red arrows are pointing to a signal bar that we would take a short. Those are really good short setups. Those are like perfect short setups. If you see me put a green arrow below a bar, like let's say I put one right there, it's telling you, and the way we enter 1 tick below the bar on a stop order, put our stop loss 1 tick above, that would be a short. If I have a green arrow, that's a perfect setup long, where you go long 1 tick above that bar that it points to. Stop loss goes 1 tick below. If I do a yellow, if it's pointing down, it's a short, pointing to the arrow that you enter after it closes 1 tick below. Yellows are just a little bit, they're still good shorts, but there's some reasons that they're not perfect. And if I do a yellow to the upside, like let's say I put a yellow arrow here like this, that would be a long pointing to going long above this bar, but it's not a perfect setup. So yellows are not perfect setups for a few reasons. That's how I do it. And I trade based on trends and ranges and support and resistance, all of it. Basically, I use ranges for support and resistance trading, and that's what these horizontal lines are. And then I also draw trend lines, and I trade off trend lines. And then I kind of combine those. Like these trades here are shorts off of the resistance, which is this pink line. But they're also the short-term, based on the short-term trend line rules playing out, because I'm a price action trader. So hopefully that helps. Got a bunch of free resources on my YouTube channel that'll help you kind of learn the strategy. And then if you want to learn more, you just go to Become a Price Action Trader in the description. It's also in the link tree. You can open that. And that has my full setup. It's only $99 a month to do all this and learn everything from me. And there's a lot of real-time stuff. I'm not going to go over everything, but it's all in there. Hey, Charles. Awesome. I appreciate you. Yeah, for sure, Jacoby. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Yeah, and this is the 2000 tick ES chart. So we're looking at the ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. We are looking at the 2000 tick chart. So what that means is that every single candlestick on here is 2,000 trades. Every single candlestick is 2,000 trades. That's how this is set up. All right, so this is interesting what's happening now. We're back down to this key level that we bounced from earlier. You can see we bounced here, 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 and that's a perfect close on the level. We got to make this a little wider to fit that close. We'll see what it does here. That's pretty aggressive. See what it does. Is it going to bounce here and create that as the range low? It might. It might. So we just got to be patient here. Let's see. Yeah, so tick has two definitions. So I'll try to answer all these questions. So Sean, tick has two definitions. A tick is the smallest unit of movement. So on the ES, it's a 0.25 movement is a tick, right? So a tick is the smallest unit of movement on the chart. But there's also a thing called a tick chart, which is what we're trading, a 2000 tick chart. And tick also means transaction or trade when you're using a tick chart. So it's kind of confusing. It's kind of annoying, honestly, that they do that. Like, they should just not call this a 2000 tick chart. They should call it like a 2000 trades chart. Because really what it means is that each candlestick has 2000 trades happening. That's what this countdown is counting. But also a tick is just the smallest unit of movement. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Fresh, when I enter a trade, I do it like this. So if you look at like a candle like this, I enter on a stop market order one tick below this bar after it closes, and then my stop loss would go one tick above the bar. That's how I enter the trade. And then I scalp a portion in profit, move my stop loss to break even, and leave a runner. That's the way I trade. I have a bunch of stuff on that in the course, the videos, all that. Price action trader. Price action just means that all I'm looking at is the price of the candles and trading based on the price movements. So I only have a 21 EMA. That's this white line. That's my only indicator. Everything else is based on the price action playing out with my trend lines and ranges drawn. That's what it really means. It's just paying attention to the way the price moves and trading based on that. All right. By the way, our goal was to get to 5730 subscribers. We're here, so everybody knows what that means. Goal! It's a goal, everybody. We like to celebrate goals here on the stream. The next goal is to get to 40 likes, so if it happens again, we'll have another goal celebration. Let me get to these questions. Okay. The way I mark my trend lines, usually, I start from a swing high if I'm going down, and I draw off of the swing high, but then I connect it through the bodies. If I'm drawing an uptrend, I start from a swing low like this, and then I try to connect it through the bodies. That's how I do it. Your question, if you like tweaking, is NinjaTrader better than Trade of 8? I've never used Trade of 8, so I don't know. I've never used Trade of 8, but I love NinjaTrader, and I think it's my favorite platform. Sorry, Hassan. Sorry, Hassan, if that was loud. Classic. I try to step back when I do those, but hey, you know what? We got to have some fun. We got to have some fun. You're welcome, Fresh. Jamari, new subscriber. Shout out to you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Peter, thanks for that feedback because I've never used Trade of 8, so I can't speak to it. Ninja Trader owns Trade of 8, by the way, so that might tell you something too. They bought Trade of 8 a while back or something, I think. All right, so we got a short-term uptrend here. Four more likes and we will have another goal celebration. Let's get it, fam. Let's get it. Let's get those 4 likes. If you're here and you haven't liked the stream, give it a like. Let's get it cruising. Haha. Yeah, I don't think that trading on mobile is a good idea, by the way, unless you're just like swing trading. But like for what we do, I don't think it's a good idea. Fresh. I've answered this question a lot. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you will find entire videos on this where I've literally talked about this on live streams, but I'll do my best to answer it. You asked why ES over NQ. Couple of reasons. One, the ES has more volume overall in contracts traded, right? So I have it on 2,000 ticks. So each candlestick is 2,000 trades. Just because there's so much transaction volume happening. Now, if I wanted to trade on NQ and have it look the same, I would need it to be set to about 1,000 tick to have it be printing candles at about the same speed, which means that I'm getting 2,000 trades in the same amount of time that it takes to get 1,000 trades on NQ. So I'm getting twice as many trades on ES as NQ in terms of the speed at which candles print. You have to understand tick charts to understand what I mean about that. Volatility is lower overall, but it's still high, which I like. NQ has extreme volatility because it's based on one sector, which is all tech, and it makes it move like crazy. So I find the ES to be more reliable because there's a higher volume of transactions that are happening. And I find it to just be more reliable on the price action because of that. All the strategies I teach, they do work on NQ. The only problem with NQ is that you get a lot more little wicks that scoot up a little further. It's a lot less reliable in that way. Like, you know, the entering with 1 tick above the signal bar and stop loss 1 tick below and all that. You have to give it a little bit more room on NQ sometimes. You have to tweak the settings of how you do things a bit because of just how quick it'll move a tick on NQ with how whippy it is with how much volatility there is. So it's kind of like the same equivalent of like if I was trading crypto, I would be trading Bitcoin mainly. I wouldn't be messing with some altcoin that is moving like ridiculously because of, yeah, you can get big moves, but you can also get moves against you that are annoying to deal with. So I want the most reliable price action possible, so I choose the highest volume of trading assets, and that's the ES. Okay. So I'll start with the second question, which was you asked, you know, why would I trade ticks over minute charts? Because there's more information in the price action, right? So here's the thing. Yes, MJ, I only trade the ES as a day trader. I trade crypto and stuff too, but I trade that as like more of a swing trader. So I only live stream and focus on trading the ES. That's what we focus on here. By specializing on just the ES, I only have to look at this one chart. I don't look at anything else, and it makes it really nice. It's perfect. Love it. And there's opportunities every day. Like, that's the whole thing. Okay, so the problem with minute charts is this. Let's say in 1 minute you have a candle that, oh, sorry, it just disconnected on me for a second. So I'm actually going to reload my data real quick because sometimes if it does that, it breaks everything. So let me reload my data real fast. It's going to mess up my trend lines, but I heard it say it disconnected, so let me fix that. You just have to do it up here in your settings. You just choose tick chart. I don't know. I don't know how else to answer that. You just do it in your settings on NinjaTrader. All right, so anyway, on a minute chart, the problem that you're going to run into is that you might have, let's say, 500 trades in 1 minute. What if the next minute you have 1,500 trades? Well, it's still going to print a candle no matter what. Or like in the overnight, if you go to the overnight like this, like in the pre-market, each one of these candles, like this candle printed here, 1548.25. The next candle took 20 minutes to print to get 2,000 trades. If it was a 1 minute chart, it would print 20 candles there, even though there's barely any volume. So the problem with the minute charts is that volume is not built into it. When you're trading tick charts, the volume is built into the candle itself because the actual speed at which transactions are happening is what moves it. So it's really important for me to understand the price action. So I believe that tick charts help you see price action unfolding in a more meaningful way. That's the best way for me to describe it in a short amount of time. And your other question of what kind of position size would I use on evals on a 50K account, I can't answer that for you. That's up to you. I can't answer that for you because it's different for everybody. I always say just trade responsibly. So, I mean, like if you're going full port YOLO, then it's a bad idea in my opinion. So just be responsible. Use your brain, be responsible. MJ, how many opportunities a day on the ES? Well, the easy way to answer that is open up my YouTube channel, open up my live streams, go open up a previous one. So let me do this real quick. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause the music. I'll open up one of my previous live streams here. Here, let's open up this one. This is the last one from 9 days ago. Let me change the quality. I'll go everybody. Like, let me zoom in. Let me show you. You can open these up and see it. I'm just trying to zoom in real quick. Give me a second. I'm scanning through the live stream till where there's a spot where I have the whole picture drawn. I don't know. It's hard to show it. But basically, if you look at like my past live stream, you can see, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 trades, 5 trades right there on that one at that time when I was live streaming. You can see this at any given point. Like if you just go, if you look here on any given day, like let's go to one of the past days. Now I was on vacation last week, but like here's August 28th. Let's go to the end of the day there. The end of the, before I started the live stream. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trades before I even started my live stream. And actually this screenshot, I was in a trade when I took it for the community. So there was 9 trades before I even went live in the morning that day. So it really varies. There's a lot of trades per day. Now for me, I only try to take 1 to 4 setups a day. I don't need to take more than that. So there's a ton. There's a ton. Hey, TJ plays. What up? Good to see you. You can trade MES. You got 2 options if you're going to trade MES. You got 2 options. Option one is you can trade MES itself, but you're not going to be able to use a 2000 tick chart probably. You might have to use a lower number. You want it to look like the 2000 tick ES chart. It'd be printing bars about the same speed. So you might have to experiment with the tick amount. It might be 1200, it might be 1500, I forget. The other option is you can chart the 2000 tick ES chart and you can invisibly plot the MES on it and actually execute MES trades on the 2000 tick ES chart. I teach how to do that in the course. You can also Google it and find how to do that. We only need 2 more likes to hit our stream goal. So, let's get it, fam. I trade in the morning. So I usually trade a little bit of the pre-market and then the first 2 hours of the session. and then I go live on YouTube after. So during the early morning session, the first 2 hours of the session, I'm posting all the screenshots of the chart updates for my community, and we're all chatting. And then I go live on YouTube. I go over all the trades, answer people's questions, and we just talk about the price action. That's how I do it. All right, we need one more like to hit our goal. If you're here, hit it, hit it, hit it. Goal! Thank you, everybody, for getting us to our goal. I appreciate you all. Super fun times. Classic. Yes, that is correct, Charles. Well, I guess everything on the chart is well, these numbers here are how large each bar is in terms of the number of ticks of each bar. And then this stuff up here is automatic. It's built into my toolbar of the 21 period ATR, the 14 period ATR, the 7 period ATR. Take profit target in terms of ticks based on the 21 ATR, all that. So there's a lot of factors. There's some stuff that's automatic built in. But yeah, like everything that is drawn on here is all manual drawn. And then the way I execute trades is manual. Like if I want to go short, I go like this. I set my order way down here, and then I drop it where I want it to go, and it's a stop market order. So like, let's say I want to go short below this bar. I would be waiting for it to close, and then I would drop my order one tick below it. But I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you real quick how I do it. Yeah, for sure. I'm a big fan. I'm actually pretty excited for the World Cup. I'm a big Liverpool fan. Liverpool is my favorite team. And I've been a Liverpool fan as far back as I can remember. So now we're going to find out if this trend line's in play. This is where we find out. This is where we find out. And thanks, everybody, for getting us to our stream goals. Good times. Glad to be back and having a nice, fun stream. Hitting our targets. Pretty sweet. I do need to check something real quick on my side on YouTube. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Theodros, thanks for asking, but that is way too complicated for me to just explain in a sentence. I can tell you that I trade based on price action. I teach everything in my school community, and I talk about everything on my YouTube channel. So if you go to my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of videos that show some of my trading strategy on here. There's also a 4-hour course here that explains a bunch of it. So I can't really do it justice trying to just explain it. But I'm a price action scalper. I focus on scalp trading, the ES. And it's all based on all the stuff that I have drawn here. So this trend line is not coming into play. Unless it's wider like this. But that is a stretch. I don't think so. Let's see if it fits. I mean, it does fit like that. But that's really stretching it. The midline does fit. So it might be the case, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. So we'll see. This wider channel might not be in play. But we'll give it a second just in case. We'll give it a second. Why not? Sorry, I had to check something. Had to check something. All right, everybody. I think we wrap up the stream here soon. Does anybody have any other questions, things they want to go over? Let me know. If so, let's go into it. So I'll wait a second here, see if anybody has any final questions. There's not a lot of setups today. This is a much slower day than normal, which is just how it is. That's going to happen from time to time. At what ATR threshold? Okay, so let me see here. In a channel. All right, so I draw on the chart. What is the purpose of the midline? It really just shows you if the price is playing off of both sides of it. It helps you see if the price action is fitting properly. You want the midline to be fitting some of these swings like this to show that like it is in play on both sides. That's really all it is. And if you're in a range, the midline is helpful to keep you out of trades right in the middle. So hopefully that is answers the question. Okay. Let me see. John, what you're asking, what ATR threshold do I go for 6 ticks on my initial scalp? Okay, so I use, you can see it up here. I basically look at what is half of the current ATR in terms of number of ticks. And I kind of go based on that. So if half the ATR is around 4, which is 1 point, basically right now you can see the 21 period ATR is a little over 2 points. So half the ATR is about 1.1 points or so, something like that. I'm going to go off of that. And I'm going to basically look to trade based on that number. So I'm going to go for roughly half. And I pay attention to all three as they're changing. So I'm not really going to go for 6 ticks unless we're over a 3 on the ATR. And I'll be going, I go for 5. I started to tweak it. Like, I'll even go for 5 ticks. If we're at, like, let's say, like, the ATR was at, like, 2.7. I'll go for 5 ticks. So, there's different ways to do it. Hopefully that answers it. Hopefully that answers it for you. All right, everybody. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to give it a... I have to minimize my screen for just 1 moment. Bear with me real quick. Because I got to pull something up on my other screen. Apologize. All right, I think I got it now. So if you got any questions, go ahead and drop them. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Ooh, nice one. Nice one. So I had the screen minimized because I was doing something real quick. I was about to end the stream. So let's see how this plays out here. Let's see how this plays out. I'm still looking at something here. To download. Sorry, I'm having to do something real quick on my other screen. Download. All right. Sorry, almost done with what I was doing. And then I'll talk about the current price action. Just give me a second, everybody. I just have to deal with something real fast. There, okay. That, okay. See here. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I got distracted for a second. I was dealing with something. I'm just about finished. There we go. Save. I had to fix something in the calendar, but there's a trade set up there. I had the screen minimized. It's, of course, but here it is. So. Let me talk about this for a second. Let's do here. This is really just a lower high. And it's a second entry short, but it's kind of a different type of second entry short. Because you have this low, and you have a first entry, second entry short from this low. It's also like a larger second entry with a lower high, like a larger two-legged correction with a lower high, confirming that this down channel is in play. Now, we did have to move it, but I think when it rejected again there like that, that's pretty nice. And there you go. So that does confirm that channel right there. Pretty nice setup. Nice, nice. I hope you get a runner there. You might get one, actually. You might get one. So pretty sweet. Nice spotting. Yeah, Mike, it's hard to find the right number. It used to be about 1,000 on the MES, but you're going to have to pull up two charts side by side and experiment. I think lately it's been a little bit different, more like 1,500, something like that. You're going to have to experiment. $9.38 as an overshoot. Yeah, you could look at that as an overshoot, but I don't take overshoots in the other direction. It's super risky. It's super risky to pick a bottom like that, even if it is an overshoot, because there's so much momentum. It can just be a really dangerous setup to try and take. So I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. So that's how I look at it. Okay, everybody. I think that is good. Hey, congrats to anybody who took that. That's a nice trade. Glad we had a good first stream back. Right after the stream is over, I'll get tomorrow's stream scheduled. So we'll be good to go. So I'm going to end the stream here. Set up tomorrow's stream. It'll be the same time tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Oh, I see what you're saying, Peter. Yeah, yeah. Well, it does bounce right here, so it does still fit there. Yeah, but the thing is, Christian, you can take a trade into the EMA when the EMA is sideways like this, because the bigger context is that this is a large channel, so you're going to go on both sides of the EMA. That's going to happen. The only time that you want to be careful with the EMA is like if it's like in a trend, like here, like if you were uptrending. You don't want to like find a short into this EMA when this thing is curved up like that. But here, the EMA is pretty sideways anyway. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate you, and I will see you all tomorrow.